You're right, guys. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. How you all doing today? I hope you're doing well. I thought it'd be fun if we just ranked every single Manchester United player's season this year to see where they sort of rank up, where they stack up compared to each other, and give you my opinions on how I think all of these players performed. Do us a favour at the start of this one. Drop a like on this video. Get yourself down below in the comment section as well. And let me know your rankings for all the players as well. Like, where do you think these players should actually be? We've got a bunch of different categories, 7 in total, from A to Gesh. So that's what we got going on, guys. We'll cover all the players, most of the players anyway, most of the notable players. Some of these players who just haven't really played that much, like Tom Heaton, are not really going to be, we're not going to bother with. But let's get in there and rank all of our Manchester United players this season, if that's what you want to call them. Because let's face it, there's nothing much convincing to be a Manchester United player from these bunch of cash merchants. They are crap. So maybe I should just put them all in the cash section. But we're not going to do that. We are going to give it a proper go here. So play along at home. Get yourself down below with your thoughts and opinions about where they should be in the comment section as well. And drop a cheeky little like on this video. And of course, subscribe if you're new. Let's do this. Okay, so we're actually going to kick things off with David de Gea, seeing as he's the top man here. And you know what? It's quite an easy one for me. He's actually probably one of the only players that's going to get in this category as well. We'll see. But he's actually going to go in the A category, which is the best category in my list here. He's got an A rating this season. I think he's been by far our best player. Should get the Sir Matt Busby Award this year, if you ask me. You know, he's been the best player for Manchester United this calendar year, this season as well. And that's what we're going on. We're going on the season. He's always performed. He's always turned up. It's not Big Dave's fault that the whole team is a bunch of crumble merchants in front of him. He's performed to a decent standard throughout the year, so he gets a good old A rating for me. What a great season from David de Gea, really, guys. Amongst a really set of shite players, he's shone. Not a good look when your goalkeeper is getting player of the season, because it means you've been getting peppered, son. Peppered like a steak slice from Ginsters. I also love what he's been saying about some of the other players. And, you know, if these players don't want to be here, then just go. So, David de Gea, true leader, possible captain for me. Do you think he could be the captain under Ten Hag? Get your thoughts and opinions down below. He's one of the only players that's deserving of the captaincy, and he's one of the only players that's deserving of his A rating today. Henderson, we're going to skip him. What's the point? He hasn't played, mate. There's no point. I mean, he's just going to get an F, because it's an absolute fail of a season, actually, for him. Yeah, he's had a few games. He hasn't progressed. He's going to go somewhere else. We'll generate cash from him. But really, it's just a complete nondescript season for him. It's not really his fault. He's been kept out of the side by David de Gea, who's been in impeccable form. Right, let's get on to Fred. You've got to love Fred, really. The energy levels, the effort levels that he puts out there is probably second to none. He works the socks off of the team. Unfortunately, he's a bit technically gash. He did have some really good spells under Rangnick, actually, where he was maybe used as a bit more of a box-to-box type player. Getting forward, it actually looked like he was flourishing. But it's been a mixed bag of a season for Fred. I mean, he's not down as low as some of the other midfielders because of his effort levels alone. And he, at spells, has actually had some really good games for us, etc. So it's just a bang average season from Fred, if you ask me. I'm going to give him a C, guys, which is satisfactory, but just barely. Right, guys, let's get on to the Frey Bentos pie lover extraordinaire, Mr. Lucas Shaw. Luke Shaw, in my opinion, has had an awful season, guys. A fucking shithouse of a season. A really great season last year as well, which is all the more frustrating. He was Shawberto Carlos for us last season. This year, he's Luke Unshaw. He's proper Gasharama, so he can't really get anything higher than... Well, you know what? I'm going to give him an E, guys. That's right, I'm going to give him an E, because he's gone from being so good for us to being such a fantastic player to being absolutely terrible. And he can maybe get himself back on track. He's only 25, 26. He's still quite young. It feels like he's been around here forever. But, man, he needs to get back to that form of playing like last season, because this season's been a stinker from him, guys. He's had some injury problems. He's been in and out of the team. Tellers has been playing some of the games, etc., and doing a piss poor job also. But he's not even been able to keep Alex Tellers out of the side, and that's saying something. So Luke Shaw has had an absolutely awful season as well. You know what? Maybe I'm going to give him a D, actually, guys. I'm just thinking of restructuring this whole thing. I think I've got to give Luke Shaw a D. That sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? But you know what I mean? We've got to give Luke Shaw the D rating in the end. If I'm giving Fred C, Luke Shaw has been awful, but he's not been as bad as some of these other players that I'm thinking about going to get in the E, F, or G section. So actually, I'm going to give him a D. No, you know what? Fuck it. He's going in the E. He has been shite. Okay, next up, we've got Jesse Shingard, a.k.a. Jesse Mingard, a.k.a. hasn't played any fucking games for us this season. Please go to West Ham Gash. Simple as that. A bad season for Jesse Lingard, and probably the end of an era when it comes to his time at Manchester United. And good riddance. No disrespect, I like Jesse. He's a homegrown. He's come through the system, come from the academy. You've got to give a lot of love for Jesse. He scored in an FA Cup final, but he's just been a passenger for too long now. See you later on, Jesse. He's in the gas section. It's been a bad season for Bruno Fernandes, guys. The Portuguese Magnifico, or as he's been labelled this season, the Portuguese Slagnifico, because he's been playing like a damn slag, the man. But either way, he's not really quite been up to the standard at all. I mean, statistically speaking, I've got some of his detailed stats here. You know, if you look at last season, what he did for us last year, 37 Premier League appearances, 18 goals, 11 assists, a contribution of 29 goals in 37 appearances in the league. Very, very impressive. This season, 10 goals in 36 games, 6 assists. It's not terrible stats by any means, but certainly nowhere near as impressive. And we can just see from his recent performances where he's been erratic and giving the ball away and costing us, and also not being able to influence the game in that positive way that he was in the last sort of 18 months prior to this season. He's not quite had the same season as he's been bang average, guys. So for those reasons, I'm sorry to say, Bruno Fernandes, lad, he's going to get the D. Oh no, he's getting the D, guys. There you go. Bruno gets the D. It's not a very good... Maybe I'm being harsh on Bruno. Could I really put Fred higher than Bruno? Is that really the case? You're going, what? How could you put Fred higher than Bruno? Have you not seen Bruno's stats and what he's actually done? It's almost... maybe I shouldn't do this, but I'm almost sort of ranking the players on my expectations of them as well and how they should have done. That's why Luke Shaw's got all the way down in the E section as well, because he's gone from being Shawberto Carlos to being a fucking gastastic pie lover. So that's why. And then obviously with Fred, I'm expecting him to have a bad season because he's pretty average, technically ungifted. So, you know, C's not... You know, he's satisfied me this season. Bruno, on the other hand, he's gone from being a hero to not quite a zero, but certainly not the same player, whether it's been Ronaldo that's come in that's hurt him or took maybe the mantle away from him, or I don't know what it may be. His confidence is shot. Maybe the management's been awful. Maybe the players just in general, the squad has been so terrible around him. It's been difficult for him to have the same level of confidence going into games. Whatever it is, though, he's stunk up the place. So Bruno Fernandes, I'm sorry to say, he is going lower than Fred. He is getting a D. It's about how they perform for them. If you're a bigger name player in Manchester United's team, if you're one of the talisman, and you let us down more so than the average person, slapping Maguire, you twat, then, you know, that's got to count for something, guys. So Bruno Fernandes, he's had a bang average season. He's gone from an A++ to a D. It's a big shame. Next up, we got Tony Martial, guys. I mean, look, there's only one place for this guy to go, really. I'm sort of saying it's in the gas section. It really is, because he was terrible at Manchester United at the start of the year. He had 1 or 2 decent games. He's been loaned out to Sevilla, surplus to requirements. He's gone over there. He's done nout. He's had a few injury spells over in Spain playing for Sevilla. He's done absolutely nothing over there. He did absolutely nothing over here for us. It's a gash season. It's not even a fail of the season. It's absolutely steaming pile of gash season for Tony Martial at the club. He's got to go in the gash section, guys. Alex Telles, a.k.a. Alex Smelles, guys. What is this going about? A.k.a. Bruno Fernandes' long-lost brother. What's going on with Alex Telles this season, guys? We had so much hope and expectation for this guy. He's clearly good going forward. He scored that absolute banging volley goal. You know, he's got some great technique. He's a good attacking Brazilian wing-back, but he can't fucking defend to save his life, my friend. He's been a whipping boy in the Premier League for a while now. Certainly hasn't been able to perform under Rangnick either, I don't think. Wasn't able to do it really under Solskjaer this season. It's been a stinker of a season. I'm going to put him alongside Luke Shaw, really. They're pretty much on a par for me, those two left-backs, in terms of gashness. So I'm going to give them an E. It could have been worse from him, I suppose. Yeah, there were some decent moments from him. He's had a couple of moments here and there. But in all fairness, it's been a pretty bad season from my perspective for Alex Telles. And I wouldn't be bothered to see Manchester United selling him in the summer. It's got to that point. I think we could probably just sell him back to Porto, cut our losses, and maybe go look elsewhere. Don't think he's good enough defensively. Depends how Ten Hag going to want to play. Right, guys, now we got on to Marcus Rashford, a.k.a. Marcus Gashford, a.k.a. Marcus Trashford. Whatever you want to say, it's been an absolutely gash season for Marcus Rashford. So much hope and expectation going into it, developing into a great player. So we thought, only for him to look like he doesn't even give a toss. Lacking so much belief and confidence about him, even effort levels, it's been such a worry. So let's have a look at his statistics this season. 25 Premier League games, 4 goals and 2 assists. That fucking stinks, my son. That's Jay Ling standards right there. That's terrible. In fact, that's doing Jay Ling's a disservice. Look at his time at West Ham, but You can't deny terrible, terrible statistics from Marcus Rashford this season. Last season, not so bad at all. A goal contribution of 22 in 37 appearances last season within the Premier League. This season, though, 6 contributions in 25. It's just not good enough. The season before, 26 in 31. These are the sorts of statistics Marcus Rashford needs to build on and put up if he's going to continue to play in Manchester United's team. There's no way he's going to continue under the new manager if he performs the way he has been performing. And if you look at actually how he's been doing lately in terms of effort and confidence and just looking like he's a true Manchester United player, he's probably further away than anybody right now. So it's going to take a big, big comeback for Marcus Rashford to get back to where he needs to be. In my opinion, maybe Ten Hag can do that and revitalise him. If not, then he needs to go. But we should give him this season, or at least give him a few months into the season to see how he's shaping up, to see if he can be revitalised and see if Ten Hag can actually get him back on track. But it has to be a gash season for Marcus Rashford, right down at the bottom. Absolute pits of a season from the guy. Okay, Donny van der Beek now, guys. Donny. Oh, Donny. In my opinion, very much mistreated by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Didn't get the opportunities, didn't get the game time. Regardless of that, though, it's an F of a season for Donny van der Beek, maybe through no fault of his own. He has got a couple of goals, that one in the game just before he was sacked, and also he scored last game of the season for Everton. But other than that, he's just not really had a very good season for anybody. So in my opinion, he has had a failure of a season. It's not necessarily down to him. He hasn't been given that many chances. I'm sure next year under Ten Hag, he'll probably have a much better season, I think. But for me, it is a big F for Donny. It's a fail of a season. That's what F stands for here, really. It's fail. Dean Henderson's failed to have any sort of contribution really in the team and to develop whatsoever. And so has Donny van der Beek, really. He's just stagnated at the club, if anything, gone backwards. So hopefully Ten Hag can unlock Donny and he will be like a new signing for us. But as things stand, I've got to put him in the failure section in the F zone. Mr. Lindelof. What's going on, Victor Lindelof, with this guy recently, mate? Flat pack IKEA furniture merchant. Shocking. He has dwindled off. He's lived up to his name. He was actually quite good at the start of the season. I thought he was quite bright. Whenever he's been called upon, whenever he's played, he was quite good for a spell of a few months. And then it went to absolute shite. And he turned into that full-on flat-pack furniture Swedish meatball maker melt again. But there you go. Victor Lindelof, terrible season in my opinion, overall. Not as bad as some, though. Not as bad as some, in all fairness. It's a tough one. I'm torn between giving him a D or an E. I personally think it's probably time for us to part ways with Victor Lindelof in the summer if we want to be taken seriously next season. But I'm going to put him in the E section there alongside Luke Shaw, alongside Tellez. He just can't defend. His one-on-one defending is gash. His aerial defending is gash. He's got great pass. He's got great pluses, but there's too many negatives with his game, and he's had an average, bang average season. I'm going to have to go and put him in the E zone, guys. There you go. Scotty McTominay, my son. Aye, let's talk about Scotty McTominay for a wee second there. He may be the most disappointing player for Manchester United for several years, my son, you wee tube. He's had many a season now where he's just played like absolute crap, my son. No, but in all fairness, look, guys, this guy's got to go. I think he's got to go now. He's not been good enough this season for us as well. I'm looking at some of the positives, some of the pluses. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 games where he's had some really stellar performances. That Leeds game where we smacked him up at Ellen Road, he was very, very decent, wasn't he? Very good. Passion. But come on, they're one of the worst teams in the league, for fuck's sake. Scotty McTominay doesn't really turn up that often for us. He's very inconsistent. If I'm giving Fred a C and I'm giving Bruno a D, I mean, I've got to give McTominay an E, guys, because he was significantly worse than those guys. He really, really was. So Scott McTominay gets in the E zone as well. Sort your freaking self out, Scott McTominay. If Erik ten Hag is going to give this guy chances, he needs to step up his level, step up his consistency. You know what? McAverage just isn't good enough for Manchester United, I'm sorry to say. It's time to go. As much as he is a passionate, hungry player who maybe has the heart for Manchester United, he actually doesn't have the technical abilities or the qualities for us, I don't think. Maybe he can be just a backup. He's a battler. Come in there, choose your battles, put him in the right games like those Leeds games, and maybe you'll get some big, full-blooded performances from him. But other than that, he's gash. Eric Billy, Big Bollocks. Eric, who is this fucking guy? He doesn't even play for Manchester United. Maybe it's not his fault, guys, that he's not been given that many opportunities. Went to the Africa Cup of Nations. He came back and Rangnick just refused to select him, refused to play him at all. Some reports maybe he's causing some issues behind the scenes, but, you know, you can only read so much into this. Bay's always been a committed player for us, but he's an error-prone melter. And, look, it's just another fail of a season. I'm going to put him in the F zone, guys, because F is almost sort of like for the failures of this season, really. People that could have maybe progressed, people that could have done something, and in the end, they've just done absolutely nothing. So it's not that he's worse than Lindelof in defending, it's just that he's really not featured, he's really not taken up any opportunities, whether it's his fault or the manager's, he's just not really played that much. So I've got to put him in the F zone, guys. He's had a failure. Jadon Sancho then, this is an interesting one because this guy came in for £73 million last summer. He's had a bit of a trash season, has to be said. And it took him a long time to get bedded in. The thing is with Sancho, I think he's a quality player and he has started developing and progressing. And last couple of months, he's looked like one of the players that is actually developing at Manchester United, whereas there's some players like Rashford going backwards. So at least Sancho is looking positive and he's going in the right direction. I think we've just got to allow this season to be a truly terrible season for him. I feel bad for him coming into a side that was so underperforming. If he'd gone into a team that was well-oiled and winning games, he would have probably had a great time of it. But because he's not gone into a good team that's firing on all cylinders, he struggled just like anybody else. And he had to adapt as a young 21-year-old to the Premier League as well. It's difficult for him. So I think next season will be much better. But for this season, I mean, it's a D, guys. It's a D. It's not a good season, whichever way you look at it. He's not had a great time of it. He's not scored a lot of goals. He's not got huge amounts of assists. He's got some, and he's shown glimpses, and he's developed. So this is a D for development a little bit anyway in this one, because he has shown signs. I think in the future for us next season, he will be great. He will kick on. I think Ten Hag will love having Sancho around. But this season just was, we can't pretend, it wasn't a great season for Jadon Sancho. So I'm going to give him the D. Tom Heaton, not going to bother with. What's the point? Actually, let's just put him in Gash. No, I'm just joking. Let's just leave Tom Heaton there. What's the point? What's the point? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a.k.a. the Spider. Oh, dear, guys. I mean, oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Not favoured really that much by Rangnick because, well, he's no bloody good at going forward and attacking and creating chances or assisting teammates. It's not really his bag. He is a great one-on-one defender. He does have 8 limbs. But other than that, it's an average season again from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, guys. Maybe he will be sold to Crystal Palace. Maybe he won't fit the right style of play that Erik Ten Hag's looking to play either. But if we're being honest with ourselves, guys, he's looked bang average for a while now. It's certainly since Rangnick's come in, what his qualities and abilities have actually offered the team is very minuscule. I think he was better in an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, maybe more counter-attack inside. But when you're trying to go forward under Erik Ten Hag now, being maybe a more high-up team, maybe having those modern fullbacks which can overlap and create and score even, Wan-Bissaka's just not really there, is he? So I think he will be sold, but based on the season that he's had, he struggled to make an impact. He was better under Ole. You know, Ole certainly favoured Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but he didn't have a great time of it then this season either. He's been good for us in the past. I'm going to have to put him in there with the other wing-backs so far in the E section. E for absolutely fucking extraordinarily gash. You know, we've got to put him in there, guys, with those guys. It just makes sense. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, there he is. And then speaking of which, we've got Diogo Dalot here as well. He's maybe one of the players that has developed under Ralph Rangnick just because he's been given quite a lot of opportunities as Diogo Dalot. Going forward, he's decent. Defensively, he's absolutely gash. Sort of like the Portuguese young version of Alex Telles, really, except that he hasn't got the set-piece ability or the ability to score goals or create that many chances. So Diogo Dalot's going in the same section as Luke Shaw, Telles, Wan-Bissaka. That's all of our main 4 fullbacks that are in the same category for E, which is one of the worst ranks we've got in this tier list right now, which just goes to show you how bad our defenders have been, or certainly our fullbacks have been. They've all been the same level of gash mediocrity. We need a massive change next season there. It would be nice if we got a fullback in. I say sell 1 or 2 of these fullbacks, guys, and then start afresh with 1 or 2 shrewd signings or bring a youngster through, because these guys are just bang average, clearly. Are we going to get onto Mason Greenwood now? Do we rank Mason Greenwood? I suppose we got to rank Mason Greenwood. He did some really good things at the start of the season in regards to scoring goals. And it looked like he was developing, looked like he was one of the players to actually be one of our sort of leaders in the team, even just as a young man. As it turns out, he had a nightmare season, guys. I mean, I almost need to make another category at the bottom for just absolutely gashtastic, mate. Because we know what happened, guys. He's obviously being investigated now by the police for accusations of threats to kill, accusations of rape and sexual assault and things like this. It's a terrible season. I mean, I'm going to put him in the gash section, but he almost deserves this whole new section there. And another section just on his own for the level of pure gashness of a season that he's had. Right, Juan Mata then, guys. Little Juan Mata. Pretty nondescript season. He's only played a few times for us this year. He had some good moments at the end. He's been a great player for us over many years. We've had our time in the sun with Juan Mata. He's a good player. He's getting on a bit. Maybe he will stick around for a little bit longer if he's prepared to sign a much cut price deal. And that's if United bottle it in the transfer transfer window and can't be bothered to go out there and sign some more replacement players. So for me, it's not that Juan Mata's failed this season. It's just that he's not really had that many opportunities to flourish. So I am going to put him in the E section as well because, well, he's not really done anything, guys. I mean, he has had some decent games recently in sort of a testimonial send-off type vibe, but he's barely played this season for Manchester United. So, yeah, he's just had a nondescript season. It's time to go for Juan Mata. Love Juan Mata. What a nice guy. Great little career at United as well. But time to go. Anthony Elanga. Oh, nice. Finally, we can break this trend of putting players really, really low down in this tier list because the whole team's fucking shite, guys. The longer this video goes on and I record this and I'm making this and I'm giving my opinions and ranking these players, it just goes to reaffirm just how gash these players actually are. 7 players in E already. We're only bloody halfway through the team. That's how bloody bad they've been. But Elanga is actually one of the players to excel this season, to show glimpses. He's a young lad. He has broke through on the scene this season for us and done very good things, got some goals, got some assists, shown great moments. I think Ronaldo enjoyed playing with him. He showed tenacity. He showed a fearlessness that was not shown by the likes of Marcus Rashford. So for me, I'm going to put Elanga in the B section, guys. It's not like he's absolutely burst on the scene, done amazing, amazing things like, say, when Rashford did in his first season or Greenwood did when he first broke through, but it's not far off. I think you've got to look at what Elanga's done over the course of the year. He's taken a lot of opportunities. He has developed. He's not had a world beater season. He's a young kid, but just by his own standards, this is what I'm sort of ranking it on as well, is for his own standards. You know, he's done well. It's like, who's got more goals? Who's got more assists? Obviously, Bruno Fernandes has got more goals and assists than Elanga. But I'm not ranking it like that, guys. I'm actually ranking it also based on their own personal seasons and the levels that they should have reached and whether or not they actually met expectation, whether they exceeded expectation or whether they failed. That's why Bruno's down two tiers below Elanga, but Elanga has had a good progressive breakthrough season. So he's progressed. Get in there, Anthony Elanga. Oh, I can feel it in the air. Oh, Nemanja Matic, a.k.a. the Serbian Frankenstein's master extraordinaire. What a bang average season. But you know what, guys? Much better than some of the other dross we've had. I mean, look, he's not played that much. When he has come in, he's been a cool head. He's been one of the few players that can actually play it out from the back for us. We always looked a little bit more assured with Matic in that midfield instead of the likes of Scotty or Fred, because he is a little bit more of a cool head. He's better on the ball. He's better getting us going forward, playing out from the back. He doesn't do anything too stupendous or miraculous, but he keeps everything simple and he gets you going. And he's actually going to be a miss for us unless we do go out there and sign some quality players. He's probably our most satisfactory player whenever he played. He still didn't play that much. I'm going to give him a C alongside Fred, guys. I think he deserves a C. What do you guys think? Let us know down below. He's had an okay season, just about satisfactory. Can't really fault him. There's a good few games in my head that spring out right away where I think, yeah, he actually was a boss in that game. He bossed that game. He was fantastic, maybe man of the match. So he's done okay. It's not like he set the world alight, but from the opportunities that he's had within this struggling team, he always looked like one of the coolest midfielders we had. So to me, he gets a C, guys. Nemanja Matic, and he's going obviously in the summer. It's a sad end of an era. He's had a good spell at United. Not great, but a good spell at Manchester United. And he's clearly an excellent player, and I wish him the best of luck. Lee Grant, fuck off. Paul Pogba then. Paul Pogba. Get out, son! What is Paul Pogba's deal? He's on 300 grand a week. He's Billy Bang average. Gets 4 assists first game of the season against Leeds. Does piss all season long pretty much after that. It's a disgrace and a nonsense. If you look at his statistics, they're not that the worst. But like I say, he got most of his fucking assists one game against the shithouses. He's been awful. He's been inconsistent. There's been talks from his agent previously about, him looking for a new club. He needs to sign for a club that's going to win trophies and yada, yada, yada. All the disrespect that's come out over the last 12 months towards United. I tell you something now, guys. If Roy Keane was on this team, he'd be throwing punches at Paul Pogba. He wouldn't let him on the coach. He's an absolute disgrace and a nonsense. In all fairness, he has been piss poor for his standards as well. He's supposed to be this baller. And he has shown glimpses at times like he always does, but it's 1 in every 6 or 7 games now. This season's been so bad. He's supposed to be impressing the world trying to get this new bumper contract somewhere. You wouldn't know it because he's been absolutely terrible. So he's got very little redeeming features for me. He's going in the gash section as well, guys. I'm sorry to say. For his standards, for the expectations we got from him, for what he's actually done, he's been gash. And people might think I'm being a little bit harsh when you look at his statistics here, because check it out. 20 appearances this season in the Premier League, 9 assists and 1 goal. I mean, not terrible statistics, really. 10 goal contributions in 20 games, but also just not really good enough. And then go back and look at the previous season as well. I mean, that's bang average. 8 goal contributions in 26. This guy's never really lived up to it for us. So inconsistent. Very disappointing season again from Paul Pogba. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh because he has got 9 assists, statistically speaking. That's not that bad, but 4 of them are against Leeds in one game, first game of the fucking season, mate, and since he's got 5. So it's really not that great, in my opinion. He's had another tepid season, another bang average season. Hashtag Pogba out. Where do you think Pogba rates, though, in your rankings? Do let us know down below. Where would you put Paul Pogba? Because it's an interesting point of contention as to what he's done this year. Phil Jones, the man, the myth, the legend, the gurning champion of the world. Phil Pink Boots Jones. Phil Jones, where do we put him? Do we put him in the gas section? No, you know what? He's going in the A section, guys. I'm joking. Look, Phil Jones, he's played like twice. Once was just terrible for us, wasn't it? Was it the City game? Was it the Liverpool game? I've forgotten now. But you know what? It was fucking awful. And then the other game where we lost 1-0 against whoever it was, can't remember now. He did a good, full-blooded, committed, passionate performance. It was probably our best player on the pitch. So for Phil Jones, I'm going to give him a fucking F, guys. Are you for real? Did you really think I was going to give him a D or an E? He's fucking failed this season, guys. He's played twice. This guy needs to go. What the fuck are we doing with Phil Pink Boots Jones around the gaff, paying him £100 a week to turn up to training in his pink Lambo, etc.? It's a joke. So, of course, he gets an F. He's failed. It's another failure of the season. What's he done? He's played twice. Oh, good one. That's more than he's played in the last 3 years. Sorry, I like Phil Jones. He had a nice, passionate performance in one game. Is that worth millions of pounds a year? No. It's time to go, Phil. You're a failure, sir. But much love, though. Raphael Varane. Oh, my goodness me. Signed with so much expectation and hope in this summer transfer window. Significant amount of money, but a good transfer deal. Problem is, he's just been so injury prone. He has been good for us. I think he's been our best centre-back this season when he's been playing and when he's been fit. But that's not saying much because we've got a fucking human slab and all the rest of the guff merchants at the back there. So it's not saying much at all. I think he has been the best one, though, but you can't give him any higher than a C. He might even be a D, but you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because of the injuries and his gash partner in Slabby Maguire or Lindelof or whoever it was throughout the season as well. He's really, really struggled because of those guys. And the team's been struggling, and that midfield has not protected the back line at all. The midfield has let us down time and time again. He's been up against it. So I am going to give him a C, guys, in his first season at Manchester United. Just about satisfactory. C satisfactory, isn't it? I'd say he's just about satisfactory. Whenever he's played, he's been pretty solid. He's had his moments once or twice here and there, but nowhere near the same level of errors being displayed as the likes of Slabby Maguire or Lindo. So you can see the pedigree of this guy coming in. You can see that he is a classy player with the right partner. Next season, he could perhaps be an absolute stalwart for us. It's about staying fit, though, and he probably never will. So he gets a satisfactory C rating from me. Raphael Varane, hoping to see a bit more from him next year if we can cement and establish a proper centre-back pairing at the back. Right, guys. So Slabby Maguire, the captain of this team, let us down hugely. One of the worst captains I can think of in the Premier League, certainly the worst captain in Manchester United history. I think there's no worse a leader that we've had in my lifetime. So for those reasons, he's been a bad choice to lead this side out much of the times. He's been given the nod by the likes of Rangnick and Solskjaer. Everyone's backed Harry Maguire up until now. I don't understand it. He's shite. He's had a really bad season. The amount of errors, the amount of outright terrible moments from him, the pitiful post-match interviews, the awful social media posts after we've got drubbed up, going through the motions, robotic nature of the man and how he talks and how he justifies himself and saying things like, oh, all the managers know what a great player I am, that's why they select me, that's why Southgate selects me for England, that's why I get selected for Man United because I'm a great player and stuff like this. Piss off, Harry Maguire, you're shite. You know what? I've had enough of this guy. Harry Maguire out. He's not my captain. I don't even want to see him in the team next season. Ten Hag may have said some positive things about him at his presser, but I think it's just trying to be a little bit diplomatic there, and hopefully he's going to try and sell him in this summer window. He's absolutely fucking dreary, my friends. I'm getting rid of it. Do you know what? No, hang on a sec. Right, fuck it. We're adding a new category in there, guys. We have to. Humiliation! Harry Maguire, you're a humiliation to this football club, my friend. He's been terrible this season, and he has actually made me add a new category. I wasn't going to do this, guys, but halfway through, I have to add the humiliation category because he is worse than these players. Considering he's the captain, the standard that has been set by this man, slabbing it up at the back, making countless errors, being fucking dreary for us. It's unacceptable. Hashtag Slabby out. Humiliation. Right, Eddie Cavani, not the season from him like last season. He was excellent last season for us. I think he got like 70 goals in all competitions last season. This season, he's just outstayed his welcome a little bit. Probably should have gone last year, really. We paid him quite a lot of money to do not very much. He's been injury prone this season. He's had a lot of time out. He's not really performed. He's always been quite committed whenever he's been on the pitch. That's just the nature of the man. He's a good player. Got a lot of time for Edinson Cavani. I'll think of his time at United as very fondly. But this season wasn't like last season. Last season was an excellent season from Eddie. This season's awful, really. It's a failure. Actually, yeah, I'm putting him in the F section, guys, because he's barely played, he's barely contributed. He hasn't really had much of a hand in or a say in what's been going on at the club. He's had a couple of nice moments here and there. In fact, that's harsh. That's harsh. I'm going to put him in the E section. Sorry. That is harsh. That's harsh. He's in the E section along with those guys. He's not quite as bad as those other players who really haven't had any input whatsoever. He has at least scored a couple of goals. He has had some decent performances. So I'm going to put him in the E section. E for Edinson. Thank you for last season. Not so much for this season. It's bang average. See you later on, son. But thank you for the memories. And thank you for the goals. Good luck, El Matadore. Right then, guys, and then we get on to the last man that I'm going to rank in this one, which is the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo. He came in for not very much money from Juventus in the summer with a heap of expectation, lots of hope. We were all thinking maybe this could be the season United kick on now after finishing second under Ollie, with Ronaldo coming in, Sancho coming in, Varane coming in. There was a lot of hope and expectation, but as it turned out, it all went to shite. The team performed like an absolute bunch of melters, complete bunch of charlatans, pretenders, not fit to wear the shirt, most of them anyway. Cristiano is not one of those players, though. Cristiano did turn up this season. He did save us several times in the Champions League. Look at his Champions League record in the season. 6 goals in 7 games for us in the Champions League. It's not his fault that United are just absolutely terrible all round and we couldn't progress any further in the competition. And then even in the Premier League, when you think about how bad Manchester United have been, just the fact that he was able to actually contribute 18 goals for Manchester United in 30 appearances with that dross. When I think of the number of games where he's just been isolated up the top of the pitch, we cannot get the ball forward, we cannot play forward whatsoever, we can't create chances, we're getting done up like kippers by bang average teams. There's too many to count. So Ronaldo was feeding off scraps for quite a lot this season, and he's still able to put up numbers like 18 league goals, get a few assists as well. So a very impressive 21 goal contributions in 30 games for Cristiano Ronaldo this season amidst a whole terrible pile of shite players and team. One of the worst Manchester United teams, the worst Manchester United team in the Premier League era. So the fact that he was still able to do that just goes to show you what a player he is, what a goat he is. It's not gone to plan how he would have wanted it to. We haven't even got Champions League football next year. There's still some question marks about whether or not we'll be here. But I really hope he is. And I'm sure Ten Hag will want him to be here as well, because those goals are absolutely incredible. 18 goals in 30 in this terrible team of players is quite an achievement. It really is. Ronaldo gets alongside David de Gea in the A category. He has been amazing this season for Manchester United. He deserves all the plaudits, all the credit at 37 years of age to still have that hunger and desire to do what he does and look like the talisman, the leader, the match winner, the guy that can make it happen for Man United at his age in the Premier League, taking the challenge of coming to this United side at this particular moment. With the competition there are from other teams in the league as well, just goes to show you the character of the man. He's up for a challenge, he's up for the legacy. Hopefully he's still going to be here next season, but this season for Ronaldo, it was exceptional. There were so many fantastic moments. Just, he's probably provided the most fantastic moments for us this season. Easily has, guys. As good as David de Gea's saves were, and he saved us loads of points and put in some amazing man-of-the-match performances, as good as those moments were, Ronaldo's provided us with these amazing, fantastic moments, whether it's that free kick against Spurs or saving us in the Champions League or, various different moments, several hat-tricks. He's put up a really good, satisfying display for most United fans, I think. So, Ronaldo, the absolute goat. Keep it up, my friend. Hopefully at 38, even 39, he could still be smashing the goals in for Manchester United. Come on, Ronaldo. Viva Ronaldo. So there you go, guys. You can see there's a bunch of players at the bottom here. I'm not going to actually bother rating any of those guys because they're just pitiful, aren't they? They're absolutely pitiful. It's not that they're pitiful. I mean, look, you've got Mejbri here. You've got some good youngsters. It's just that they haven't really played that much this season for the first team. And so I don't really see the need to rate any of these guys at the bottom of the I mean, Lee Grant, actually, let's put him in humiliation. You know what I mean? He's announced his retirement from football. What the fuck was that all about, guys, having Lee Grant there, paying him shitloads of money to do what? This club's a joke. This club's a joke. Anyway, that's it for my video, guys. Oh, wait a second. Before I do that, let's just rank the managers. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm just going to put them both in the gash section, actually. Both in the gash section. I wouldn't say they've both absolutely humiliated her, although there has been humiliating moments throughout the season, no doubt, the City games and Liverpool games. But I'm just going to put them in the gash section, along the likes of Lingard, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood and Pogba. There you go. They've performed about as well as those guys. So what does this tell you guys? To summarise, Manchester United have had an awful, awful season. Only 2 of our players that I can see would make it into the top category there. We've got 1 player in the B section as well, which is Elanga. Everyone else is C or below. That's terrible. And everybody's had a terrible season in my eyes, more or less. I mean, look at the majority of the players there in the E category. That sums up. That's about our rating for the season. We've got an E. We've almost completely failed. We just managed to luckily get Europa League football and finish 6th. It's an absolute gas-tastic season, guys. There you go, guys. That's my player rankings for the team this season and how they performed. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know down below. Have your say. It's quite easy just to put a little, your own tier list down below in the comment section, A, B, C, D, all the rest of it, and put your players in there. If you disagree with me, let me know below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thank you all so much for watching. Do us a massive favor and smash that like button on this video before you go. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more United content. Get yourself clicking that bell icon for notifications as well. Follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. And I will catch you on the next one. Come on, United, sort your bloody lines out now. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out of here.